Hey folks, I'm Doug Friesen. I'm a student at the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education at the University of Toronto, and I'm also a public school teacher in Toronto, and I've been doing that for about almost 20 years now, teaching music mostly, but my research at OISE is particularly on sound and listening pedagogies, and I'm very excited to be working with Rob Simon.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Rob Simon. I'm currently on faculty at University of Toronto at the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education. And my research explores critical literacy and also participatory inquiry. So what it means to learn with and alongside teachers and students and to sort of collectively negotiate how we respond to social injustices through text. Our research project is called Addressing Injustices. And that is what the work that we share in our article comes from.
So my work, I've become very interested in how sound and listening is a very unique, embodied sensorial experience of of our lives, and also attention to this in classrooms might maybe further reveal that we are um, in a room in a physical space together. There's sound, just as you can hear sound now out my window, and that these things are not to be ignored. That they're actually important to think about. And when I joined Rob's research team, he very generously invited me to think about what sound and listening, this attention to sound and listening, might offer literacy classrooms in particular. And that's what the article is about, our exploration of that.
That's right. So I was socialized as an English teacher. I've been a teacher educator for well over 20 years now. And one of my frustrations, I think, in supporting new teachers to go into middle and secondary English classrooms is that we've all been socialized into this idea that there are certain texts that we have to treat with a kind of reverence that are almost beyond critique. And we chose Fahrenheit 451 largely because it's a text that is both canonical but frequently taught in schools, but invited us to engage with it differently. So we literally constructively disrupted it through cutting the book up and turning it into erasure poems at one point, and through the kinds of sound inquiries that Doug led us through, which helped students to omit words, to add their own words, to layer their own screaming and stomping and clapping. And in the process, they took this book that was beyond them or above them in some ways and really brought it close to home and made it their own. This allowed them to make space for their own feelings, their own creative lives, um, and helped us to understand maybe in some ways how we are all positioned in relationship to some of the issues that Bradbury takes up, which very much involve silencing and exclusion of certain kinds of perspectives in certain people's stories.
Sound really offered the kids a way, and us a way to not only listen to this text but remix that listening, so and remix those sounds, so remix the reading out loud of the text along with sounds they were creating alongside the text. And in the article we've included some ideas for using sound in your classroom, for heightening sound and listening as a way of just interacting with each other, but also in some ways to use sound and listening and how you interact with texts.
Um, but I guess one thing that I'd like to emphasize is, and I hope that teachers will take away from our work together, is the importance of attending to what's immediately in front of you in the classroom, to who's in the room and to the texts of their lives.
Thanks, folks. Hope you enjoy the article. Please be in touch with comments or questions.
Thanks, everyone.